the princess that launched 1,000 think pieces. The People's Princess came by that title honestly through Princess Diana being there for her people. But in terms of her title, there's another story altogether. Let's take a look at all the ways the late great Princess Di broke all the royal traditions. Number 1. Fashion statement. From the moment that Diana and Charles were papped, Diana was considered a true fashion star. Starting off on shaky ground, Diana first made fashion news when she was caught outside her kindergarten classroom in a cute polka dot skirt that unfortunately became very sheer under the camera's bright, flashing bulbs. But that detour only promoted her further as a fashionista that wasn't going to follow the rules of the royalty. She shirked the hat and gloves rules, claiming, "You can't cuddle a child in a hat." And while not wearing gloves, she took that opportunity to show off her bright red nails. A big no-no in the House of the Queen, where neutral nails are the only appropriate choice. And once Diana was experiencing rifts in her marriage, she leaned hard into snubbing the royals and chose to wear a ruched mini dress for a Serpentine Gallery benefit. Diana was why the words style icon were created. Number 2. Making contact. Diana has always been a remarkable figure just by being herself. She showed that she really was a cut above the rest when during the height of the health epidemic in 1987, Princess Diana shook hands with an ill patient in London. A simple act that reverberated around the globe and smashed stigmas at a time when public fears about catching that disease were prevalent. This simple, albeit impactful act may have been against royal protocol, but was sincerely in line with being a human being. And shouldn't all politicians, dignitaries, and royal members just be that? Number 3. Happily employed. Another way Diana changed up the royal family was that she had a job before she wed Charles. At the young age of 19, Diana worked as a part-time kindergarten teacher in London. At the time, she was the first royal to have a paying job before getting engaged. Working woman may be a royal snub, but important representation. Number 4. Engagement ring drama. Diana may have been young and shy, but she was smart and driven. Diana had to be herself and decided to pick her own engagement ring from a catalog. Although royal engagement rings are usually custom-made, the 19-year-old bride selected hers from the Gerard Jewelry Collection catalog. Because Diana's ring was accessible to the public at the time, this caused a stir. Diana proved she was the people's princess from the start. Number 5. Wrote her own vows. On her way to the aisle, Diana had to do things herself, including writing her own vows. In 1981, Princess Diana made history when she famously refused to say that she would obey Prince Charles during their wedding vows. She also called Charles the wrong name. She accidentally called him Prince Charles Arthur George instead of Charles Philip Arthur George. Hey, it's a lot of names. Number 6. Hospital birth. When it came to being a mother, Diana knew she was always meant to be one.
Princess Diana was rushed to the hospital last night.
Diana was the first royal to give birth to a future monarch outside of the home. It was tradition for royals to have home births, but Diana gave birth to Prince William in the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital in 1982, and Prince Harry in the same hospital in 1984. She was a modern woman who deserved a modern birth plan. Number 7. A hands-on mom. While we may all dream of being a princess and rich and living in a castle, the reality is a lot colder. When it comes to growing up in a castle, if your mom was the queen, that means the person who raises you is the nanny. However, Diana bucked this royal tradition hard. Always the hands-on mom, the 20-year-old took a completely modern view of child-rearing from the very beginning. A mom who truly wanted it all. Number 8. Family before royalty. When it came to spending time with her boys, Diana put family time above all else, even arranging her event schedule to match her boys, something completely unheard of as an acting royal. Sure, she had to use the occasional nanny, but the boys came before anything else. Number 9. School ties. Usually royals are taught at home and by a governess inside the palace, but at Diana's insistence, William became the first heir to the throne to attend public school. William and Harry attending school was viewed as something a commoner would do, which thrilled Diana and displeased the queen to no end. Number 10. Press talk. From the beginning, Diana was press savvy. Knowing to study the tabloids, Diana did what she could to get her side of things out to the public, driving the royals, specifically Charles, wild.
I understood the media might be interested in what I did.
In 1995, Diana secretly gave a very revealing interview with the BBC's Martin Bashir. Though her aides claimed she later regretted it, the princess tried to take control of the media and paparazzi frenzy around her life. Hey, if you do the crime of cheating as a royal, you gotta do the time of being publicly lambasted by your wife. Them's the rules. Number 11. Speaking candidly. When one was to think about the royal family, the thoughts reserved, quiet, and intensely private would come to mind. That is, until Diana became a royal. Throughout the years, as she gained her self-esteem, Diana started to speak candidly about her marriage. In the same BBC interview, she addressed Prince Charles' longtime relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The princess also didn't deny her own affair when Bashir asked if she was unfaithful with James Hewitt.
Yes, I adored him. Yes, I was in love with him. But I was very let down.
Within a month of the interview, Diana's press secretary had resigned, and the Queen sent the couple a letter urging them to divorce. Making moves, Diana. Number 12. Destigmatizing mental health. And when it came to tearing down stigmas, Diana didn't stop at her romantic life. In the same BBC interview, Diana also told Bashir about her struggles with eating disorders, which she said were the result of the stress she felt keeping her marriage publicly intact. That's like a secret disease. You inflict it upon yourself because your self-esteem is at a low ebb, and you don't think you're worthy or valuable. It's a repetitive pattern which is very destructive to yourself. Diana's brutal honesty was refreshing in a time of reserved silence. Number 13. Ready to mingle. After her divorce from Prince Charles, the royal family would have been quite pleased if Diana would have just disappeared from the public eye, but Diana refused to disappear. She enjoyed romances with several charming wealthy men, including Dadi Al Fayed. She and Prince William vacationed with him in Saint-Tropez in the summer of 1997, shortly before Diana and Dadi passed away due to a car crash in Paris on August 31st. She was only just beginning to live her life free of royalty's shackles, thus Diana's tale is truly one of tragedy. Number 14. Refuse formality. Regardless of title, Diana never put herself above anyone else. Literally. When Diana spoke with children, she always crouched to see them at eye level. Diana was the first member of the royal family to do such an act. Diana had said, if someone might be nervous, or if you're speaking to a very young child or a sick person, get yourself on their level. Just another reason why Diana was so beloved. Number 15. Change the monarchy. During Diana Week, what the time immediately after her passing came to be known, the monarchy changed forever.
Britain is a nation in shock this morning.
The Queen, who was seen as out of touch with her people for failing to show her face in London for an entire week,
since last Sunday's dreadful news,
relented and met with crowds gathered outside Kensington Palace. She addressed the grieving nation, gave Diana a state funeral, bowed to her coffin as it rolled by Buckingham Palace, and sat in Westminster Abbey as Diana's brother gave a eulogy that opened critiquing the monarchy. Afterward, the royal family worked to become more approachable and move forward with the times. Diana was always a rule breaker, but always in the name of being herself, and the public all throughout the world couldn't help but love her for it. Which Diana rule breaking caught your eye? Comment below, and be sure to like and subscribe to The Thing Celebrity to keep up with all the royal news.